Do I have a table or something for the laptop? Because obviously it's not ideal having that set up. Oh, right. Hello to the first person on my live video. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let others come in as well. So yeah, let me know who you are and join us in the chat. It's a big topic. So yeah, I'll maybe give everyone a 3-minute warning to come in if you're going to come in. Also, you're more than welcome to actually come in mid through the live, because nearly nobody comes in right at the start. It's just the way things go. Just the way things go. I've got a song in my mind called Stars in Their Eyes. I think it's by Jack or something. Anyway, I could look up song names all day long, but this is not the YouTube live video for it. Going to all that. Right. 3 minutes are in now. So, yeah, the Humza Yousaf hate crime law being brought in, I would say, 5 hours and 57 minutes from when I'm speaking right now. Wow. That's all I can say. Now, we've had hate crime law probably from the early 2000s, to be fair. And, arguably, yes, things actually do need to be refreshed and rejigged and looked at in a slightly different fashion. But Humza Yousaf, I was going to say something there, but anyway. Ooh, LL implied. Anyway, but yeah, I don't really understand where his mindset was coming to this conclusion. Really don't. Right? Like, here's an example of what's up ahead for us. So, a guy's at a bus stop, and a guy comes up to the bus stop and asks him for spare change for the bus. Right? That's a Glaswegian ism for have you got spare change for the bus? But the guy who's asking it has no intention of joining said bus. Right? And that's an example situation. Someone who is ethnic, right, is asking about a spare change for the bus. and the guy at the bus stop who's minding his own business, waiting for, let's say, an intercity coach somewhere nice. He turns around to this ethnic guy asking for spare change, tell him to piss off. That's hate crime now. Anyway, example number 2. Guy runs a bakery shop, but it's on the street platform. The delivery cyclist for Just Eat blocks the entrance door, rendering it totally unable to let people coming out the shop, or if there was a fire or fire alarm, it could cause some pretty gnarly consequences. The shop owner says to the Just Eat guy, "Take your bite to fuck." Ding! Hate crime. It's really crazy. There is a very very well shown around sphere saying that you can actually get it done for a hate crime for saying something in your own four walls, in this case living room. I don't know why Humza's focusing on the living room, because there's more than one room to house. But anyway, that's the way things go. Or, for instance, you're watching telly, maybe you're watching This Is England, and obviously it has a lot of challenging language. And if anybody, like a neighbour or a police at the door, could hear it, then you're getting done with a hate crime. It's like, what? 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 Now, anyone who knows me knows I've been recipient of many hate crimes over the years, and it's not been enough to actually take to the police station and get them to deal with it. Or when that very rare occasion I phone up 101 for advice, they say, "Oh no, it isn't just not enough. There's not been a frequency or a repetition of it, but we do understand what you said is horrible." Right? Repetition seems to be a common thing, especially in Scots law, where for it to be either harassment, hate crime, or threatening behaviour, it's got to be repetition before, e.g., the police get involved, or e.g., lawyers start sending letters, all that stuff. It's that's the thing that is commonly understood. Right? But, if I was Humza, you know what I would do? Instead of getting people done for saying stupid things, like, like, let's say there's a guy watching his favorite football team play, and he says, "Get into him, you fucking dafties," right? No, ding, hate crime, which is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. There's nothing positive or good coming out of that, actually. Absolutely none. I'm just trying to stabilize this camera, which probably will be a hit or miss. But yeah, there are like examples, like, if you tell somebody to get lost, that's hate crime. Or you know, as I said about online and on demand delivery services like Just Eat and Deliver Twat. Oh, that might be. Oh. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, and most people realise I had done a previous art form in a younger life, right? And there's a very common joke: an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Welshman, I think it is. Right? That's going to be a hate crime, you know. Uh, it's just terrible. If I was Hamza, right, you know what? I wouldn't be focusing on silly, stupid jokes and people yelling at telly and people yelling at delivery cyclists, etc., etc. What I would do is actually nip the bud at its earliest point, rather than dragging the police into complete stupidity. Right, we don't have very many police now. Back in the days, was it Strathclyde Police and all the other police, right? Had plenty of police, but when it went from Strathclyde Police to Police Scotland, suddenly we've lost a staff base of 45%. So to actually engage the current staff base with this kind of stuff and getting people potentially put into jail for 7 years for saying something stupid, no, not at all. That's selfish. Now, interestingly enough, before I go into what I would do if I was Humza, right? The thing is, yeah, like, hate crime should be actually nailed actually at the point of crime at a slightly different angle. We'll take a wee look through this, right? People that get mercilessly, mercilessly trolled for their protected characteristics like sexuality, gender, disability, you name it, on social media, right? At that very first point, that's when things should be getting dealt with, right? Emails, Instagram, YouTube, uh, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's a crime, by the way. Right. At that very first point of contact in each of these platforms, including WhatsApp, that's when things should be getting dealt with, not trying to deal with these situations where guys screaming his head off watching the football and everything else, right? It should be a more it should be a more refined approach, because at this point in time, let's be honest, this law is on its arse, right? I mean, the thing is, how many times have you been at a bus stop and someone's rolled the window down and maybe called you, retard or something? I've had that a plenty of time, and I mean, I've had a horrible guy driving by in his van, rolled the window down, and actually smacking his hands together and making the noises, right? Apparently, there wasn't enough repetition for that to be actually taken up as a hate crime, although it is clearly a hate crime. But it's Scots law, lol. But and also things like, you know you log into your social media and someone's calling you a dyslexic cunt or something, right? That's the point. Hate crime should have, hate crimes should have kicked in then. It never has, never will, and sadly never going to. And that gets me annoyed. I mean, as I say, a I was a former performer at one point. You could probably find out what I performed in, but I don't use that word. Anyway, so yeah, but now, come midnight, these former people that I connected with regard to that art, they're probably shiting themselves actually. They're probably having to completely rewrite script after script after script, take this out and take that out and put something else in, or take that questionable material out and put in something about Donald Trump and hating Brexit. That usually gets a few titters here and there. But this is something that is absolutely fucking terrifying, and it's not just to the type of performer that I was once upon a time, but there's all performers like poets, musicians, people play their guitar to audiences. There are singers. This has obviously been a plan that just didn't really get thought of before. It didn't get thought of before actually implementing. And talking about the topic implementation, to be honest, this is the thing that really is horrible to hear, right? Police have been diverted from their normal duties to get trained in this. But not only that, but the ones that are getting trained in this are being diverted from dealing with things like murder, rape, house burglary, arson, serious matters, to do with, the NHS, like when people go missing from mental health wards and stuff, when people go missing from the general hospital circuit, right? N- Police would be involved to track and bring him back and stuff. That's not going to happen now. Broken windows won't get looked at. People that have bikes or bikes, if a bike goes missing, well, you're quicker buying a new one, right? Let's say, for instance, you're getting harassed off your ex on maybe a daily basis. Well, you phone up the 101 centre. Don't be surprised if you have to wait till the bottom of the week before you actually get any communication with anything. And to be honest, they'll just come up to your house, scribble a few notes, and disappear and never be seen of again. Right? Because their attention's getting diverted to the hate crime things, the thought crimes. You know, to be honest, it is, like when you're actually giving the police something serious to do, they might not be with you for a week. In way back in 2023, 2023, I had a bike damaged. It took 19 days for the police to actually phone up. And when they did phone up, they went to the premises, and it was just sheer luck. It was one day before that bit of footage was getting deleted. So they had a wee look, and it was just a solid flaw, right? It was just the angle of the camera versus where the bike was that got. Unfortunately, that's what happened. Nothing, because the camera was just a slight angle off. They didn't quite see enough to actually pinpoint names or blame or anything like it. So yeah, and that amount of damage actually costed me the best part of £300. So yeah, not very happy. And yeah, it was a work site, and I just up sticks and walked, because it's just kind of like whatever, and means can't be Arsenal or anything further than that. So there we go. Wow, 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 wow. The algorithm must be kicking in, because apparently there's nobody watching. But who believes YouTube? Not me. But anyway, yeah, people who are attending football matches, cheering and everything, their team and booing the opposite, usual kind of Scottish thing. Well, they can actually be bundled up in this hate crime charge, stuff like that, and whatever. I know there's racism that goes on in some parts of the UK football teams. That is absolutely wrong and shouldn't ever happen. But unfortunately, sometimes when people get a drink in them, they become the next bloody BNP figurehead. But anyway, yeah, yeah. As I say, police are getting diverted away from actual, crime to deal with the hate crime law. And if you've got something serious, you might not be seen for quite a while now. There's so many diverted. I'm just like, I'm gobsmacked. I'm absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest. It really is a horrible situation. Now, I'm totally with the idea of having, the hate crime law revised, refreshed, etc. But there's always absolutely useless caveats that could send quite a few actual law-abiding and innocent people in front of a judge or straight into the bloody courtroom for not courtroom, a jail for 7 years. Now, last time I looked at what constitutes a 7 year stretch in jail, stuff like murder, right? Murder, manslaughter, rape, like serious crimes. To send somebody out into fucking jail just for having an opinion that might not be it might not be of the populace's opinion, but it's not a hate crime. It's not actually banging the hate crime, but the way things go, it can get people put into the court and then over to jail. I just think it's absolutely messed up. Absolutely messed. It's wrong. I mean, I really do hope there's some form of what you call either a repeal, maybe a couple months down the line when everyone realizes that the Scottish law is on its arse. I hope some kind of appeal or an immediate handbrake. Now, I think it's rather sus that this is coming into play on April the 1st as an April Fool's Day. A lot of people been milking that one stupidly, to be honest, about that. And then uh, there's also the idea, but fact. Here's a fact. Humza Yousaf had actually been done with a road crime called no vehicle insurance. And for him to try and create law when he's got that much dirt on him, seriously? Like, at least, at least try and bring enforcing laws when you've got a squeaky clean record. That's what I'd say towards Humza, because it's for a road criminal to bring in laws criminalising X, Y, and Z. It's a bit hypocritical. Let's be honest. You know, it's, it's, this is going to be difficult times for everyone. But most importantly, as I said before, any form of open performer, that could be a musician, guitar singer, thrash metal, that could be poetry, that could be rap, that could be performing comedy. Everyone is going to have to either look through the scripts or look through the song lyrics or take to pirate metal and do that screaming stuff, right? In such a tone that it can't be deciphered what's been said unless you've got trained ears. But anyway, them trained ears are musicians, not Humzas. Yeah, I mean, even artists, people that take to the canvas, painting, drawing, digital art, that's like photography and things like photoshopping. Oh, by the way, memes are banned under Humza Useless. Oh, I said Humza Useless. I think that's what the situation is. Humza, it's a useless set of law. It hasn't been thought through properly. But anyway, yeah, memes are going to be getting investigated. Memes since about 2009 have been the thing that has actually kept people emotionally propped up through some severe, horrible times. So, do you think people will stop reading memes and making memes? No, but ultimately, making memes, sadly, if it gets into a public enough sphere, will invoke the wrath of Humza Yousaf, and you'll be in a courtroom and you could go to jail for 7 years. Now, when I say a 7 year rule with 7 year in jail, right, you're thinking, oh, you must be talking about people who've been in and out of court more than Morrison's. No, it's a first time offence. If you get brought into a courtroom and this is your first offence, making a silly little meme, 7 years straight to the pokey with a cock up your arse for a fucking meme. That is not challenging hate crime. That is more imprisoning more or less innocent human beings. Oh, thinking of speech. Oh, straight to jail. Straight to jail. Not enough time to even have cock up your ass. It's just straight to jail. 7 years. There you go. That's absolutely wild. I mean, memes are found absolutely everywhere and anywhere that I have come across. And, even the worst memes I didn't think offensive. I really did not. But unfortunately, this stupid law, and I hope it gets denounced and rescinded because it is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely no need for it at all. But at the situation we're talking about now, that can land people 7 years in the pokey, and that's absolutely sad. Apart from anything, memes are actually creative. They're creative forms, and that's just the way it is. And the way this law is operating, it's going to kill free speech, creativity. It'll even kill having a laugh. I'm going to do something in a minute. I'm just going to get a charger. Right. Just get my wee charger. Right. Okay, that's as I go again. Right. But yeah, like I thought of a judge nailing and sending somebody to jail for a meme. I could understand if it was a specific person or a specific theme, like maybe mental health disorder or something like that, or LGBT, anything like that. But no, it was just a plain old meme. And I've got the example of somebody that went to jail for 2 years for a meme in England. The meme was it offending any protected characteristic? No, but it just went straight through from the police station to the court and the court to the pokey. People out in the street that are carrying knives, carrying large amounts of uh, strong opiate drugs like heroin. Oh, they can live a life in peace. Carry a meme. That's that jail time is an equivalent to ABH with intent. Oh man alive. Why? Eh, If I was a judge and I was faced with someone like that, a wee spicy meme, a wee dirty ripper, right? I'd look at it and go, right, okay, I actually do have to act on this person, right? Send them to an IT course, send them to a digital awareness course, as a DEI course, or you know, send them to a course about antisocial internet usage. Fine, fair enough, but to actually get a prison cell prepared for somebody to sit in for 2 years just because of some silly meme. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is not good. Not good at all. It's just absolute pain. Now, if we kind of take to creative arts for a wee minute, comedy. The origins of comedy were going down into a wine cellar, a downstairs pub, and taking the piss out of whoever's king in command of your country at the time. You know, it's basically you go downstairs and you vent some, and then you come back up. Essentially, that's how comedy started. And only in the more recent, maybe 15 or so years, you know, this is when people are trying to clean up the act and tell a few jokes or tell a few jokes that are a bit cleaner, blah blah blah. But you shouldn't really be expecting clean jokes for going down into a wine cellar. Essentially, you know, it's a caveat emptor. You know, if you're going downstairs into a wine cellar and you're going to a comedy night, you aren't going to be expecting an ode to Karl Marx or any other type people. When the amount of times I've went into a venue and people have been ripping on, you know, the like Boris Johnson, Theresa May, and all that stuff, you know, plenteous. But it seems, especially in the last 20 years, comedy's been getting more away from it. You know, it's been getting rinsed down and rinsed down and rinsed down and demasculated, and it's now to a point where, you know, the pinnacle material is, oh, I hate Brexit, oh, I hate Donald Trump. I'm going to do a dick joke. Everyone's going to laugh. Don't laugh too loud, however. I'll give you a roasting from the stage, and then straight out the door. You know, it's just it's turned to it's lost its roots essentially. But now with this new law that's coming in, people are absolutely bricking it. They don't know what to say without it being a hate crime charge, and it can be an occasion where, you know, comedians on stage or singers on stage or whatever, right? Whatever a creative on stage doing their thing, and before you know it, the doors open, two police come in and drag a person off the stage. This is where we've got to now. And interestingly enough, I had a conversation with somebody maybe about a year ago, and he actually said to me, Andrew, you left comedy at the right time. Yeah, that was a comedian, but we'll move over. We'll use different words for that one. But yeah, and I can tell what he said to me was right, especially with what's coming in the next 5 hours and 27 minutes. Yep. Uh, I mean, I just think there should be a book actually what you can say, what you can't say, and what you certainly can't say in front of an Alexa speaker or anything like it. Um, I just don't like this whole fact that they're diverting so many police officers to deal with these non-issues. Really, when there's big issues and, you know, there's stabbings, there's rapes, there's murder, there's house break-ins, armed robbery, gang violence, shutting them all aside for, oh, I'm hurted with the hurty words or whatever. You know, I mean, as I said near the top of the video, actually, how much hate crime I've actually received, and have I done much about it? Have a fuck. And times that are occasional, yes, I did start asking questions and stuff like that, but unfortunately, when it comes to Scots law, you've got to actually have a repetition of incident before it becomes something that can be processed by the police or lawyers and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, but I don't know if I should come on later on tonight and maybe do a wee kind of a couple bits of that word, performing entertainment. I don't know, but it's it's something that's just not ringing right in my ears. I mean, especially Glasgow. Glasgow is full of crime. Anything ranging from, you know, violence, uh, sex assaults, football related violence, stabbings, uh, organised drug cartels, prostitution, you name it. They're all getting tossed aside while the police are doing investigating on issues. And apart from that, you don't actually need to be spoken to by the police to actually have uh, flags and charges put on your name. That's scary because let's say Joe Bloggs, he was a, maybe Joe Bloggs is a performer of comedy, right? And after a night of comedy, he goes into his personal life and he transfers from one job to other. At the interview, he says he's got no criminal convictions, and the interviewer phones up and say, "Actually, you do have convictions. Here it is." And he's like, I've never been spoken to a cop for." And then he goes to his lawyer to find out, is there anything on the system? The lawyer says, "Yes, there is actually." And he says, "But I never got spoken to about by this, blah 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 blah." And the lawyer's like, "Well, this is the way enforcement is actually being done through the police. It's insane." Or say for instance, a motorist has a near miss with another motorist, and he winds the window down and shouts at the motorist that caused the crime, "You effing idiot," which is a boilerplate but a Scottish insult. 3 days later, he's got a letter in the post, a Police Scotland fine. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that's happening. This is what's getting enforced. It's not actually, when I look at the pages online and documents, to be honest, nothing is getting added on to hate crime. Well, we currently have. It's just the way things are getting enforced, and the penalties are absolutely fucking ridiculous. Especially for a first crime person, it's just wow. It just I don't know. I don't know where comedy is going to go. I think it's going to go a very, very tad sheepish for quite a long while until either the thing gets rescinded or I don't know what else. I hope it does get rescinded or it gets adjusted because at this point in time, publicly, it's totally unworkable. Totally, totally unworkable. And when I was reading through this hate crime law at a depth, I actually wondered, was Humza Yousaf on drugs when he came across this idea in his head? Because sometimes when people take drugs, they have ideas but are so off kilter with uh, reality, it's unreal. So I'm wondering, has Humza been doing the hash, the monster mash? But who knows? But ultimately, I really do hope this gets rescinded and sent to whatever bowl of hell this belongs to because it's not going to help people. And all these places that have been diverted here, there, and everywhere. Well, what about when real crime hits? It could end up. It could end up going. What's that? Vigilantistic. So I'm not happy at all about it. And yeah, all I can say is just obviously mind your P's and Q's. That's a kind of weird phrase for Just watch your mouth when you're out. And having to watch your mouth when you're in, there has to be a room in the house where you can discharge about maybe a bad day at work, or an arsehole client, or something along these lines, because we are not built to bottle it up. Bottling things up really actually makes people go very unwell in head. And if you don't fucking watch that situation unfold, you could be seeing yourself or your friend in a hospital. And I tell you something, these kind of hospitals are not nice places at all. But anyway, well, I'm going to head off now. I've got one or two things to do. I might be on later. Just just be careful, folks. Uh, it's a wild world out there. Much love.